right, today we're going to talk about the Idaho college murders, which I find very, very interesting.
Four victims.
Yes,
4 victims.
There was 4 victims. I don't know much about it, so what do you kind of know? Do you give me a little synopsis of what happened?
Well, it started Saturday, November 12th. I'd rather just call them by their first name, if that's all right. There's 4 of them.
There's 4 kids.
There's Ethan, Zana, Kylie, and Madison. Saturday evening at 8, Ethan and Zana were at a fraternity party.
How long ago?
This was on November the 12th. Saturday, November the 12th.
Okay.
From there, the other 2, 10 p.m., Kylie and Madison, they were at a local sports bar. The timeline goes on. They got a ride home. They got food at a food truck. Joseph Woodall, the manager of the food truck, states there was no danger indicated. They didn't seem like they were in distress or anything. Around 1:45 Sunday morning, all 4 arrived back home. 2:30 to 3, Gonzalez, which is Kylie, repeated phone calls between 2:30 and 3 in the morning to her ex-boyfriend. That's nothing unusual. Police don't think the ex is a suspect on that either. Between 3 and 5 a.m., they're all believed to be in the house sleeping. Let me back up to 1:45 Sunday morning.
So they have it all.
No, we.
So the police went through.
There was 2 survivors, two surviving.
Yeah, I see. They
2
didn't.
survivors were asleep on the first floor. That they didn't hear anything. They apparently it slept through it.
So they didn't hear nothing.
No.
I did see the layout of the house, which was pretty weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, no forced entry. But although the house was known as a party house, so anybody could have known the keypad code to get in.
Yeah.
So, and there's even speculation that maybe the 4 wasn't targeted. Maybe the house was targeted.
Okay.
So, there's only so much they're going to release. There's only so much we're going to know about. The next morning, just before noon, is when the 2 surviving roommates woke up. They found one unresponsive on the second floor. One of their phones was used to call 911. The 2 they're not even considered suspects. They declined to tell who even made the 911 call. Apparently it was, they were stabbed several times. With what a lot of the media is saying out there is a Rambo-style knife.
Yeah.
You remember those when we were kids?
Yeah, I do. And then I saw a thing online. The guy had a Marine Corps K-bar knife.
K-bar is what they're talking about.
Yeah, he
now.
said it was probably that. He goes, so if someone would have
Marines
that.
carry a K-bar.
He goes, most likely the guy could have been, I mean, you can still buy them on Amazon or wherever, but he said most likely they would be ex-military. And I did see that the crimes were made in like rage. And that to me means that he just went overkill on
well,
at least one of them.
I know Kylie's father, there was even speculation that there was a stalker. She had mentioned that someone was following her.
Yeah.
So
I can't believe they don't have a suspect. It's been a month.
Well, yeah, almost a month.
That's crazy.
Yeah, almost a month. Well, no, almost a month.
Yeah. I mean, that's just...
it's...
I mean, I get the crime scene's probably enormous.
But you need to Keep in mind, this isn't TV. We're not.
Yeah.
It's not going to be solved in 45 minutes.
It's not CSI.
with commercial breaks.
That's true.
Yeah. So
What really
this is real. This is
it really hit home is because the town is basically the same size as Frostburg.
right. And haven't had no major murder investigation or anything. 7 years. It's been 7 years since anything like that has even Moscow, Idaho.
Yeah, there's been no, like, it completely reminds me of Frostburg State University. And even the homes up there, they kind of look like they do in Frostburg. So I kind of thought that kind of hit home a little bit,
Right.
especially with us living in a small town, and the
Right.
crimes where they happened out in Idaho is the same thing. And there was 3 girls and one guy was a couple with one of the girls. So I mean, for one individual, now think about this: one guy to go in there with just a knife
And kill all four. Without waking one or the other.
Without
or
somebody
waking the downstairs, the two. And what about, why did they survive? Maybe he didn't know they were even down there?
Maybe. Or
I mean,
maybe he went on the
what were they
second floor
after?
instead of the first.
We don't know. There's so much that, many what ifs.
I have a hard time believing, and from what I read online, they said that they did put up a fight. Some of them put up a fight.
Yeah, defensive wounds.
Yeah, they had defensive wounds.
Some had defensive wounds.
So for one person to go from person to person to person, I get that if they were, I don't know how they were laid out in the bedrooms. I'm sure the one couple was in the same room, but the other 2 girls, who knows? They could have been in different rooms. I don't know.
Right.
Even if they weren't and they were in the same room, still, for one guy to do that
seems hard to believe one person.
One person could do all of that.
Well, even the father of the one even stated that there could be an indication that one victim had worse wounds than the other 3.
Yeah, so he had a
what
rage
did
on
somebody witness something?
Maybe.
Did they get up and witness it? And but have to be a pretty big guy to do all that.
Well, I mean, big and extreme. I'd say he'd have to be in shape. That's a lot.
It is.
That's a lot. I can't see. I have a hard time believing one person did it. I think absolutely one person could do it, because what's what Ted Bundy did when he went to Florida State University at the frat house. He went in that frat house.
Well, I don't know
if
they've even determined that have they even said that it's just one. I don't think they have.
They haven't
saying suspects. No suspects.
They have nothing, or at least nothing they're releasing. So, but I mean, it can be done because Ted Bundy did it. He killed 2 women, and then he went after 2 other ones, but the other 2 survived, which I don't know if he knew they survived at the time, but he did do that.
He did.
Same type of
scenario.
scenario.
What now? What? Well, I know it put the fear of God in everybody out there. I mean, this happened before the Thanksgiving break, and kids were rolling early. Classes were being canceled.
Yeah. Well, that's
now we're coming up on the Christmas break.
But it makes you wonder, though, could it be someone like a Ted Bundy? Like, that's a possibility.
I don't know. It could anything. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that's a possibility, because Ted Bundy kind of did the same thing. So it makes you wonder if is it a serial killer who was floating through? Saw a couple pretty little girls and followed them home.
We'll have to keep an eye on this one. There's all kind of speculation. It just nothing seems out of the ordinary than any other nationally recognized murder that happens in the country. It seems like pretty normal investigation to me so far, and they're only going to tell you so much anyway.
I mean, they are, but generally within the month, because usually the ones that come across the news are the boyfriend did it, the husband did it, the mom did it. Those are usually the ones you get. You don't really see ones,
right?
Unless it's like a mass shooting, which is freaking horrible. But
they've got tons of evidence, thousands.
You don't really see these
thousands of pictures. They've taken thousands of pictures. They've gathered thousands or hundreds of pieces of evidence. 600 some leads they followed up on, and yet here we are. We're still We're still waiting. We haven't, and there's no development, or that maybe there is, and we're just behind the scenes of it. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm not real sure, but I think, man, that's a lot of. First of all, that's a lot to go through if you're the police. I mean, you've not been around horrific scenes. It's a lot.
A lot. Well, it's a lot.
It's a lot to go through and process.
It's a lot. Yes.
We've also been around quite a few. Also been around quite a few serial killers, both of us.
Yes. Yeah.
From past occupations, but
right.
So I would say that, I mean, anything could be a possibility from someone at the parties that they knew, somebody they knew.
Well, like it said,
a stranger, like a Ted Bundy.
They've already family's already stated now that it was known as a party house.
Mm-hmm.
It was known as a party house. So, anybody, no forced entry either. So, did they know? Did they know how to get in? Did they know the keypad?
Yeah, or was the door just empty or unlocked? Being in a small little town,
right?
They could have just not locked the door.
I don't think in this day and age, no, that's not going to happen. I can't see four beautiful young women not locking their door.
Yeah, I can't see
unless
they were hammered drunk.
Especially if the stalker story is legit.
Yeah, that's true.
Why?
I would hope not.
Why would you go to sleep with your doors unlocked nowadays?
Yeah.
You can't. Nobody will.
And they also had
nobody does that anymore.
I mean, so far,
nobody, or they shouldn't. I guess I should say.
Anybody that you thought might be a suspect right away, like the other two roommates, the friends, they cleared them all.
Everybody's been cleared. Everybody, the driver that drove them home, everybody's been cleared. The food truck guy testified that they seemed like they were okay. They were having a good time. They had like a 10-minute conversation on the surveillance video. They get a ride home from a private person. That person's cleared. That driver's cleared. The two survivors are cleared. It's going to be a waiting game for a while to figure this one out, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
They just know they've been stabbed. No murder weapon's been found. No motive. What motive? No.
Why?
No sexual assault.
Well, I mean, that could go for
no robbery. None.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason. You just don't do that on a whim. Of course, then again, maybe you do. That's what Ted Bundy did on a whim.
Well,
he drove all the way to Florida.
This one, that's why we're talking about this one, Phil, because this one's interesting. This one gets you thinking.
Yeah, it does.
We're gonna watch. We're gonna have to keep an eye on this one. We'll talk about this one further, no doubt.
So I'm sure we will.
Yeah. So, hey, thanks for watching again. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Go to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Take care.